So we've been revisiting Vice City through the definitive edition, and even though it's technically busted, we still wanted to highlight some cool nostalgic Easter eggs. We've got 10 good ones, so let's jump in. Now, first, of course, is the Easter egg room. Vice City has one of the most literal Easter egg secrets in any game. It's just straight up an egg here that says Happy Easter on it. This thing's pretty well hidden too. So to find it, you need to go into a door in the news building downtown to get onto the roof. There's a helipad up there that's very close to another building, and even though it doesn't look like there's anything there, you can just jump through the window and enter this secret room containing the Easter egg. And yeah, that's it. It's just a big old chocolate egg that says Happy Easter. It doesn't do anything, and you don't get anything for finding it. Still, it's an iconic Easter egg because of how literal it is. Next, over at number 9, of course, Vice City can be a pretty dangerous place, and one way Rockstar illustrates that is with this dude. If you get in a boat and look around the water in the area between the Leaf Links golf course and downtown, you can find the body of a guy who got cement shoes. You know, like he got his feet stuck in cement and drowned. In the definitive edition, the only way to see him is if you get really close, but he's still there, and it looks like it's the same model from the original version of the game, which, of course. Did the Mafia ever really do this to people? There's not a lot of record for it, but it makes sense in a GTA game. Next, over at number 8, one Easter egg that was pretty easy to find in the original version of the game is still here. It's just way harder to see. There's a submarine in the water if you head north from the North Point Mall shoreline. Because of the new water system, it's really difficult to notice, but if you take it slow and keep looking down, you'll eventually come across it. Now, naturally, you'd be able to see the wreck of a different ship besides it, but that's pretty much impossible to see in this definitive edition. It's unfortunate. You know, the model's probably there, but it just can't be seen. You have to pretty much be directly above the sub for it to show up too, and even then you'll only get a vague look at it, but at least it's there. Next, over at number 7, in Little Haiti, there are 2 stores with the name Romero on them. The Funeraria Romero, a funeral home, and the Carnicero Romero, a butcher shop. Most of the storefronts in Vice City are pretty barren, but these 2 have a lot to see. So looking at the Funeraria Romero, there's some pretty goofy stuff in the window. You know, the price on coffins that get cheaper until it's just a crate filled with hay, a tombstone with the Rockstar logo on it, a grave for Steve Mulholland, who was a map designer for the game, and this goofy Dracula-looking guy in the corner. There's also that skeleton in the alley, even though it's much harder to see now, but the texture is there. It's just a short walk to the Carnicero Romero from here, and then this place is a little more messed up. For one thing, you can see an arm in the shop window, presumably from that skeleton that we mentioned earlier. There's also a box labeled human organ for transplant and an entire brain. Now, with this stuff and Romero in the name, it's pretty easy to see the joke and reference that they're making here. The name Romero is a reference to George Romero, the horror director responsible for movies like Night of the Living Dead, where of course he's famous for a bunch of zombies and stuff. Now, we don't think there are actually any zombies here in the game though, just your average run-of-the-mill cannibals, but this is still a pretty cool Easter egg and just all the little details they put into it. Now, next, over at number 6, there are a lot of pools on Starfish Island, but 2 of them are unique. Now, one is shaped like a female figure in a bikini, while the other looks like the Rockstar logo. You can only really get a good look at these with a helicopter, at least in the original game. In the definitive edition, all you gotta do is check out the map, and there they are. They're clear as day. These are pretty hard to miss, but they're still kind of cool. And over at number 5, you might not remember, but you can kill characters from other GTA-like games. You know, if there's one thing GTA loves to do, it's dunk on the competition. In GTA 3, they went really hard on the Driver franchise, while in this game, they call out a few more pretenders to the throne. These Easter eggs all happen in the 3rd payphone mission called Autoside, and if you're not paying close attention, it's actually pretty easy to miss these references. Now, the premise of the mission is that a European gang is planning to rob a bank, and they're all working undercover. It's your job to drive around the city and take them out, but their names may look a little familiar. Not all the names are references. You know, the first guy you kill, Mike Griffin, doesn't appear to be based on anyone. As far as we can tell, the next guy, Dick Tanner, is named basically after the main character from the Driver games. After you deal with him, they want you to take out Marcus Hammond and Franco Carter, 2 names spun off of the 2 guys from The Getaway. After those 2, you kill Nick Kong, which is a reference to the main dude from True Crime Streets of LA. Back when Vice City originally came out, these names might have been more obvious, but with the definitive edition, all the game's reference here are just footnotes compared to everything, but still, it's cool. Down over at number 4, this is a simple one, but down in Ocean Beach, just north from the Pole Position Club, you can find a video game store called Rockstar Video Games, and it's got a bunch of characters from GTA 3 on it. There's 8-Ball, El Burro, Kenji, and Maria. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense being here, but it's a cute little thing to find when you're driving around. Now down to number 3, one of our favorite ones. If you buy the film studio asset or just get a helicopter and fly in, there's some fun stuff to see. Most of the studios have some kind of set in them, but the most noteworthy one is right here, the moon landing set. Obviously, it's a reference to the whole like Stanley Kubrick maybe filmed the fake moon landing thing. There's the lunar lander, the flag, a lunar surface, and of course the M16. So, I guess in this universe, this is where they filmed the moon landing. You think they would do a better job like locking the doors and keeping it shut? But hey. But down to number 2, there's a pretty grisly scene you can find in this random apartment building near Ocean Beach. The door to one of the places is open and you can go inside whenever you want. It's called apartment 3C, and it seems pretty standard until you go into the bathroom. There's blood all over the walls and a chainsaw pickup in the middle of the room. Now, why is this here? Well, for one thing, it's a pretty obvious reference to a scene in the classic movie Scarface, a movie that this game pretty much owes a lot of its existence to. There's speculation out there that this place was originally going to be a safe house that you would unlock by killing the owner, and while the mission was cut from the game, they left the actual apartment in the world, so you can just stumble on it if you want. We can't find any solid evidence of that actually being the case, but there was a lot of stuff apparently cut from Vice City before it came out, so it wouldn't surprise us. Still, it's a really cool thing to find. Now down to number 1, this is definitely the dumbest one yet, but we gotta mention it. Now, in the original version of the game, specific lights would turn on in a skyscraper to look like a big penis. Now, you can only see it at a very specific time between 11 and midnight, so it wasn't something you'd see all the time. But with the remaster though, you can pretty much see it all the time. We don't know why. It probably has something to do with the changing with the lighting systems or just another thing they overlooked or messed up. But no matter what time it is, you can clearly see the pattern of the phallic image right on this building. It's one of the dumbest Easter eggs out there, but Rockstar has their crude humor and we still just like that it's there. Hey, but hang on, we do actually have some extra bonus ones for you. It's the secret Ronald Reagan picture. It's one of the most bizarre and infamous eggs from the game. It's this picture of Reagan, the American president from 81 to 89, shooting a picture of Mikhail Gorbachev, who was the general secretary of the USSR from 85 to 91. It's hidden behind a random section of the wall in the downtown ammunition. The only way to actually see it was to literally clip through the wall, so it seems like it was something that people weren't exactly meant to see. It's got the actual likenesses of the two political figures, which is something you don't always see in games. This is one Easter egg we were very curious to see if they would actually replicate, but as far as we can tell, it's now impossible to clip through the wall in ammunition. The old trick no longer works. You're just stuck looking at a wall now, so it looks like they took this one out of the new editions. It's not that surprising, but still, it would have been funny to see in HD. Do you ever feel like you were hearing something familiar when doing one of Avery Carrington's missions? Now, during the mission 2 hit, he says this line: "Now, nothing brings down real estate prices quicker than a good old-fashioned gang war. Except maybe a disaster, like a biblical plague or something, but that may be going too far in this case." If that sounds really familiar, it's because it's almost word for word what Donald Love says during the mission Waka Hashira Wipeout in GTA 3. Seriously, the part about real estate prices, the good old-fashioned gang war part, even the thing about a disaster, a biblical plague, and them saying too far, the line is almost identical. So while the line is almost the same, the actual missions are pretty different. 2 hit comes pretty early in Vice City and it's pretty easy, while Wipeout is one of the most annoying missions in GTA 3. It helps that you don't actually have to stay in the damn car in Vice City. You can get out and just shoot the dude, but while in GTA 3, you're forced to stay in the car and awkwardly shoot at guys using those bad drive-by controls. But you probably want to know, what's the point of that, right? Well, look who's in the car with Carrington when he says that. It's a young Donald Love. Avery Carrington even says that he should write this down before telling you that, so I guess Love really did take that little speech to heart. It's one of the most weirdly specific references in the entire game. Apparently, at least according to the GTA wiki, Donald Love was going to play a bigger part in Vice City's story, but he's basically just a cameo in the final game. Still, it's a funny, if strange little connection. But hey, those are some GTA Vice City Easter eggs that we liked finding. Again, if you got any other secrets or weird things from the game you'd like to point out, definitely let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and had a nice trip down Easter egg nostalgia memory lane, click the like button. It helps us out. But if you're new, consider subscribing, maybe hitting that notification bell because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.